So you're not... What? That's not even what's being discussed. Nobody's even That's not a reason. That has nothing to do with it. Waste of time.
Let's he blocked him. Oh my god.
That's not even the point.
He blocked
Just look at the
him.
monsters every model that's been changed. It's not about cleavage, but design quality. I don't know. I think a lot of them look pretty good.
Yeah, Alone says some clothes could be a real turn on, though. Yeah, it's a good thing. I don't see anything wrong with it.
Sparring with an Argonian named Salith, in the hopes of making it in the arena. In the original, their outfits, or lack of clothes, perfectly fit their situation. This place is like a mini gym, and her attire is perfectly comfortable for what she's doing. It's sort of like a sports bra.
Oh, did they cover
it? In the remaster, without any context, you go up to this, and it just looks like two homeless people fighting.
Well, wait, what about equality? Why isn't he being covered at this point? I see Metatron, you know? What is going on here?
First of all, this censorship doesn't extend to male characters, as they didn't decide to put a shirt on him, but she...
this is
fine, the scales are fine.
Like,
he has his tail out.
You can say, like, oh, well, it's a remaster and things are different, but when things just keep being different in one direction over and over and over...
It's gaslighting at that point.
A pattern begins to emerge.
So, guys, this is Argonian man has been sexualized. Stop sexualizing this man. Can we cover these damn scales? Put some clothes. Have some dignity, man.
This warm, furry vest to work out.
Yeah, it's a
Before
pattern.
this, in
It's
the
obvious.
original, the shirtless Argonian was completely fine, and I don't think you ever needed to ask them what they were doing to get the picture. Now, her look has had a direct impact on his, and they just look like beggars from the waterfront district having a disagreement. It looks ridiculous, and it was something that did not need to be changed at all, and it's actually kind of ruined the particular scene here. No, it's not game-breaking, but it's the
Yeah, of course it's not. And by the way, I'm not offended. I don't think Asmongold is offended. I don't think Angelica is offended. No one is offended here. I'm not offended. We're just cringing. It's a cringe fest. That's all this is.
It's definitely funny looking.
The problem is that these kinds of things are like a cancer, and if you don't stop it early on, it becomes worse. Like, for example, whenever Blizzard took the calling Sylvanas a bitch out of WoW, we didn't realize that would actually end up causing us to get an expansion that was so soy it was Dragonflight. We didn't know that at the time, but if you give these people an inch, they take a mile.
So, of course, I agree with the general sentiment. I don't know the specific situation in... Was he talking about World of Warcraft? That's not a game I played, so I don't understand the reference. Also, I don't know soy in this question. I don't know what it means. So I'm having a little struggle here, I guess, from the deeper American culture. But regardless of that, I agree that if you give him an inch, they'll take a whatever the heck. So, yeah, wow.
That's it. Yeah, and the paintings, exactly. Do you find, on one hand, they try and censor the game, but the same retards that try to sexualize kids in society in real life, it's double dumb. I don't want to say it's the same people.
But not in a good way.
So he means no lactose, Scarlet. I mean, sure.
Armor is also a bit of a hot topic right now, kind of for the same reasons.
Yeah.
So, in the original Oblivion, some of the armor...
Now, this is my realm. This is my realm right here. Yeah, I did look at the sets of armor. I've got to say, I think the armor looks pretty nice in the remaster. I keep wanting to say remake. I mean, I liked the steel set. And but what are they saying? What is she gonna say? That the iron armor now does not... Oh, because she had boob plates and now they removed it and put a breastplate. Well, believe it or not, I actually don't mind that too much, because that's how medieval armor for women would have worked. But because they're doing it for the... We can't show breasts even if they're iron, then that still annoys me. Functionally speaking, it would be okay.
Looked quite different depending on whether you played a male or female character. Granted, not all of the armor had these differences. For example, the steel armor kind of looked the same on both men and women, so it's important to have this context.
And that's you know what that looks like? It's a late 15th century Milanese set, but I would say, due to the fact that the placard, the leather strap is clearly Italian in style, and so are the asymmetrical pauldrons. And thank every god and deity ever imagined and worshipped, they actually did it right, and the left is bigger than the right, as it should be, as the left is your line of defense. What I want to say is that this section of the placard actually looks more Germanic, it looks more Gothic. So this, I would say, is inspired from a set of armor created in Milan, but for a German export.
Those facts before we go and get our pitchforks. Don't worry, there will be time for pitchforks later. Some really notable differences can be seen in things like the iron armor, the amber armor set, the chainmail armor, the...
Yeah, why did they go for the... I actually liked the gray... Well, this one still looks good though, but the color kind of makes it look like a lamppost.
Armor set. The chainmail armor. The
chainmail armor, chainmail. Yeah, the mail armor, whatever. I mean, I think they both look nice. I kind of like that they added. Again, I don't like that she looks like a lamppost, but apart from that,
it's always the same.
And
that
stuff worn in the
one's
arena,
not that much
and
different.
Several others that you'll notice.
They look different. Orcish. Maybe I like the darker set more. It's like you're choosing between the night and, you know, yeah, I kind of like the orcish this way better.
What they appear to have done is taken away the elements that incorporated the female form.
I see.
And made all armor look more bulky and pretty much like it does on male.
Well, this one looks nice, but I agree. It's obnoxious that they did this. It's obnoxious. There's no reason to do it.
Male characters.
Yeah, this is a really common trait and a common trend with like video games now, is that they try to create the way that like men and women look, and they use basically the exact same stuff. And it's totally unappealing, weird looking characters that I don't think anybody actually wants to look at or have anything to do with.
He's absolutely right. And also you say it's a fantasy game. Oh, I know. I don't have a problem with the fantasy elements. I love the fantasy elements, but I can still have an aesthetic perception that I could say, man, it looked better before. That's really all I'm doing. And I loved the mismatch. Like the steel armor looks great. It's not a carbon copy of what medieval armor. I mean, the fold looked wrong, but who cares? It looks good. It's fantasy. As long as it's aesthetically pleasing. I'm mostly just discussing the quality of the assets and the color palette at this point. Clearly, it's a fantasy setting, yes.
Yeah, nobody wants this. I don't think anybody's asking for this at all.
The major argument for doing this, and I can sort of see where they're coming from, is, again, going for realism. So it is true that armor, for the most part...
Okay, I can respect that she actually seems to have pulled stuff up from museums and didn't just Google medieval helmet and then risked showing something that was historically inaccurate. I can appreciate, yeah, cool.
Art was never really made for women.
Okay, I agree. Let's go for realism. You can't play as a girl. No girls.
Yeah, in fantasy it doesn't matter.
Thank God.
Or to fit the female body. That is because in many places in the world and many societies, it was widely accepted that war is for men. And only men go to war and need to wear armor.
That's true. I was about to say there are exceptions, but it seems like she is going into the exceptions. So due to the fact that she's willing to, of course, recognize the exceptions, this is clearly Joan of Arc. There are other exceptions. I'm not expecting neither him nor Angelica to know about the population called the Ayazages or the Sarmatians, or the populations of the steppes or the Akkadian kingdom, and the situations in which the sources do mention that there were in fact women that would put on armor and fight, but those are still very small percentages. So the only way in which I would have a problem with people saying, I don't have a problem with people saying that in the majority of cases it's men that went to war. War is a male-dominated aspect of society, and therefore combat and armor in the majority of cases is connected with male and men. But there are exceptions. So the only problem I have is when someone says it never happened. Then I'll take every single historical example from the sources and I will annihilate their position. But unless it's someone like that, and I've heard people have already done a couple of debunkings, but unless it's like that, what they are saying, both of them, they are correct. Generally speaking, it is chain male, it's not chain female. So there's that.
A few exceptions, of course, instances where armor may have been made to fit a particular
Look at
person.
Joan of Arc.
Like, it's believed that Joan of Arc had her armor made specifically for her, courtesy of King Charles VII of France. But for the most part, if a woman did wear armor, it was just armor that was standard and made for men to begin with. You guys will know that I am somebody that advocates for realism in fantasy worlds. But what I mean by this is that I want to see it grounded within the predefined parameters of any given fantasy world. So my counter argument here is this. Unlike the real world, in Oblivion, women do go to war.
Yes.
In Elder Scrolls in general, women go to war. You see this in your first 2 minutes of playing Oblivion, where you meet Captain Renault wearing a full set of blades armor and escorting the Emperor to safety. That's kind of a big deal. I sort of touched on this in a video before where I spoke about how there don't appear to be the same predefined gender roles in Tamriel as there are in our real world. Therefore,
some areas of commonalities you can still see. I mean, women are wearing dresses and men are not, but still, I agree, it's slightly different. It's a different world. It's a fantasy world, so it's fine.